Welcome to KIllco. I'm Mr. K. Today we're doing a completely different video because I'm not reviewing anything. All I'm doing is having a drink and telling a story. So this video is mostly about my recent trip to Texas, which was exhausting. In fact, I got back just yesterday, and it is nearly 2 a.m. Anyway, the point is, if you've watched any of these videos, you've understood that the progression is I started watching the Whisky Vault years ago. Ever since, my interest in whiskey has only increased. My enjoyment of whiskey has just continued to be more and more like, what else can I learn? What else can I review? What else can I try? Where else can I go? And for someone with my mental problems, which, to be abundantly clear, bipolar 2, severe social anxiety, and they say ADHD or ADD. I'm not sure what the PC way of saying that is right now. But I have a number of mental disabilities. I am on disability. That's why I can make videos all the time. I don't have a job, but I've started to make whiskey my life and my job. And that's why it was so important for me to not only meet the people in the vault and have so many different things sort of just kind of happen in a weird way. Especially lately, this past few months, it's just been like things happening. Nothing I planned, just it happened to be nearby, and I happened to make myself go there, and boom. One of the things I'm going to throw up right about here right now is when I went and visited a certain liquor store in Connecticut and met the gentlemen who are pretty much in charge in some way, shape, or form of how Lefroy is made, which is something I didn't expect at all. That was not on the things of, yeah, this will happen to me someday. It was just they're next door? Oh, at the liquor store I go to. Oh, so boom. I had Lefroy very early in the morning. I don't think I've ever had whiskey that early on purpose until that day, and Lefroy is better than coffee, really, if you want to wake up. Just, you're awake now. This, however, is going to be a sort of like a slideshow and me kind of working on my editing techniques, and if I have the energy to do it, to show my adventure from my home state of Rhode Island and all the way to Texas and back again. That's what this video is going to be, so I hope you enjoy, and I will tell you more at the end about how I got back and everything else, and how much fun it was. Oh, and one more thing to anyone who actually knows anything about YouTube channels in general. It is the end of Pizzamas. I'm wearing my Pizzamas shirt, and I'm looking forward to having some pizza yet again sometime soon. Welcome to KIllco.
Yeah, that's nice.
Too early, right?
Too early in the morning.
This is my father on the left. This is my mother on the right.
Cold.
He's cold. This is Jimson Recordings in the flesh.
That's right.
What are we doing?
You are going to Texas. I'm going to sleep.
Yes.
Hopefully not till after I get home.
All right, one more thing. Payment for the guide, sir.
Oh, thank you.
All right, are you guys ready to rock?
We'll get your stuff here.
All right, you ready to rock? Well, I hope you enjoyed that video, because I enjoyed making it for the most part, because a lot of it was just helter-skelter. Oh gosh, I need to film this. Oh gosh, I need to take a picture of this. Oh gosh, I need to do that. A lot of just why I don't really do a travel whiskey thing, and why I like to stay at home, among other reasons, other than what I mentioned at the start of the video. Now, you'll have seen I went to get my bottles. This one being a very particular one, because this was, I think, number 3? Chapter 3. Chapter 3. This is one of the earliest bottles they had. And I bought one, and again, this was probably over a year ago now. So, getting my hands on one was not easy. I'm looking forward to reviewing this one, but I'm scared to open it because I know it's now sort of like a rare bottle from them. And I was like, oh gosh, I know they have more somewhere, but this one's mine. And do I open it? It's the curse of being a whiskey collector. Is there are some bottles you don't want to open, just because. It's because it's got special meanings to you and probably no one else. The other bottle I did happen to get was this one of their more recent designs. You see the bottle is different, much easier to deal with, but it's one of those, if you put it on the shelf at a bar, which guess what? They don't have much distribution, which is why I had to go to Texas to get it. But you might put this on a bar in a way where you can read the label instead of out the front. And honestly, if you look, Eleanor's hanging out back there. It's actually a really neat design, so that sucks, you know. It's something you want to display in some way, and I have no idea how I'm going to do that, since the collection is growing once more. I think that's a problem I have with this time of year. All of a sudden I'm getting more whiskey and buying more whiskey and trying more whiskey. This one is Chapter 7. 7 is a number that pops up a lot in my life. But, so we have two very different styles. We have the 3 and 7. What the 3 and the 7 were, I don't remember. I don't remember. I will look it up later, and before I actually review it, so I can go into detail about what I think I will be experiencing when I try it. I'll go back to the try videos and that kind of thing, to refresh my memory of what the hell did I buy and why did I want it, you know. This is one of those things where it's like, yeah, I bought it at the time. I also know I couldn't just have it delivered. So it took a fair amount of doing to actually get there, get the bottles. I had a wonderful experience, not only getting to talk with Rex and Daniel again, and everyone else who works at the Crowded Barrel, but also getting to see the vault, being in the vault, as you saw in the video, and trying a whole bunch of whiskeys with a wonderful somm who I consider a compatriot of whiskey, we'll say. I'm not going to say his name here because I know his job is to do that, but I don't like calling people out unless I know for certain they'd be happy to do so. I didn't even get a picture with him because I wasn't sure if he wanted to be, you know, filmographied, if you will, onto the YouTubes. I'm very cautious about that, especially being someone who's a photographer, because, yeah, you can take pictures of people. It doesn't mean they want you to post your pictures of them all over the internet. So, hopefully I will go back again for some schooling at some point, and I'm really just looking forward to having my knowledge just continue from here. The last 3 years have been wonderful, just a learning experience and just a pleasure to drink all this whiskey, you know, if nothing else. It is the water of life, and it is part of what gave me my life back after suffering. It's part of what gave me my life back after suffering with crippling depression for most of my adult life. I think I've been saying 30 years, and that's about right. You know, since I was a kid, maybe 8, 9, 10, you know, puberty hits, and all of a sudden everything changes, and you're in school, and you're kind of... The weirdest thing about my experience was I felt that I didn't change as a kid. Like, I was getting older, but nothing about my personality changed. I was still, you know, like this. And everyone else started to criticize me because of the way I was. Unsurprisingly, I had a lot of, you know, undiagnosed mental issues, so I'm a bit of a spaz sometimes. That's fine. You know, actually I find it's a good thing because I will approach someone I don't know and just talk to them. Because I feel, at least in the States right now, there's this kind of disconnect from everyone. I think part of it is because my generation grew up with don't talk to strangers. It's like, well, yeah, I understand that as a kid you don't want to talk to strangers because you don't know them, you don't know what they might do to you. Yeah, it makes sense. However, it wasn't really well explained that you could talk to other people as you got older, and that's fine. You know, the planet is vast, there are billions of people. It doesn't hurt to say hi or good morning and mean it. That's the important part. Like when you go up to a register and the guy says to you, "Hi, how are you?" You know, granted, it's the register, they're doing their job, and for whatever reason, that term became normalized. Like, "Hi, how are you?" "I'm fine, how are you?" That became the norm, and it's always, "We're fine." We should say we're fine because we're fine, right? No, we're not. Most of the time, people behind the register are really tired. Sometimes they're hungover. I am tired constantly. It's not like I'm falling asleep tired, but just a weariness, a fatigue. It's constant, and it sucks. But I've learned to cope with it, and I'm certainly better off now than I was a year ago. Once I started getting into the idea of doing YouTube stuff and drinking more whiskey and making it something that I was passionate about. You know, I wanted to do it. I just did. Not because I want to drink and get drunk, but because I wanted to experience life more. I had a passion, and you know, as a kid, you have adults asking you, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And at the time, I couldn't exactly say, "I'm going to be a YouTube person and I'm going to drink whiskey all the time." That's not something that would have happened. So I am happy to be on this here, meeting so many interesting and educated and funny and friendly people, not only in person but online in general, in what is, I think, called Whiskey Tube. That's becoming a thing, and it's neat, and I'm happy to be a part of that, and I hope it will just be a roller coaster ride of life experiences from here on out. Whiskey ages over time in the best kind of way, and I like to think all the YouTube channels that are starting up now and have been going on for the past few years are just getting better and better as they age. So with that, I will bid you adieu, since it is late and I was traveling all day yesterday. Till next time, cilantro.